What's up, everybody? Come on back into another episode of Game Runs Deep and Talk Champions. I'm Sudu Upadea. Ben Garrett will be with us here shortly. Got a real mysterious text from him this morning. Go ahead and start without me, he said. I don't know what's going on, but knowing Benny, he's, moving and grooving. Busy day, busy morning for Ben. So excited to have everybody on here. I see our regulars. Mary's in here. Hotty toddy to Mary. A lot of questions here. Swayze playlist for the season. I feel very old. I saw the same thing, Mary. We're talking about Ole Miss baseball releasing the walkout songs for this season. Let me see if I can pull that up. I'm 30. Like I'm kind of in that mid range of like knowing some stuff, but also like getting to the point where I am old now. But there were a few there were a few things I saw on there. I was like, you know what? That's I like it. And there were some other things on there I also didn't know what that was. I want to pull that up. See if we can find that full list. Heck yeah, hotty toddy. I'll be watching from the iPad while I do my cardio. Hell yeah, HoFlex 24. Good for you, man. Get it in. East Feliciana Reb, morning to you as well. What's up, Matt Smith? If I have to shovel snow tomorrow, I will get all the leg day I need for a month. Ben's what's going to happen with that, right? That it's so confusing to me because you look at some of these models that people are putting out, or you get on like TikTok and you watch some of these like apocalyptic style videos, and it really freaks you out. But also, like, this happens every year, right? Like, they tell us we're going to have the worst thing in the world come our way, and then it ends up, I mean, yeah, you get snow, which is in the South can be debilitating. Like, you don't drive, right? Roads closed down, all that stuff. But this one seems a little different. Like, this is like, it's got a name, I believe. Like, it's a winter storm with a name. I'm in Metro Atlanta, which, like, if you talk to some people, it's going to be awful. Like, there's going to be down power lines, and then you talk to other people. Like, I have friends who are meteorologists, and some of them are like, oh, it'll be bad. Like, you'll have to avoid the roads, but it's not going to be awful. So don't really know what we're gonna get here. Who else we got here? Over under on Clemson and LSU fans in the chat today. Matt, I'm going to take the over, but you got to remember, so when Ben and I launched Game Runs Deep, we launched it to be a overall college athletics podcast, right? So I know it's annoying for some of some of the Ole Miss fans to have to see that, but you know what? That's the dialogue that makes college football so fun. The trash talk, the whining, all that stuff, right? You just got to dish it back. Keep it respectful too. Obviously, nothing disrespectful from all sides there. No need to exaggerate things with Clemson fans. Just say we understand and get mad at the system, not us. Dr. Henley, you're absolutely right. I had some people reach out to me, some LSU fans actually, after the Luke Ferrelli thing was announced, which obviously, as Ben would tell you if he was here, that's something that's been reported for weeks now, and you guys can subscribe to the Ole Miss Spirit, the QR code right there. I believe it's still 50% off. I need to get Ben to pay me for the bidding I'm doing for him, by the way, for the Ole Miss Spirit. But it's something we've known for weeks, and it was officially announced yesterday, so that's where all the comments started coming in. About, oh my God, look at you, like you guys are mad at Lane, and meanwhile, look at what you're doing in the portal. And I had some LSU friends of mine who are LSU fans say that to me, and I was like, hey, I think all of us want the rules to exist. I think I don't know any college football fan that likes the tampering or the inability to enforce contracts, because it affects their team as well. And I think that's the same for Ole Miss fans. It's the same for LSU fans, any school, right? You don't want a system where a player you sign and you expect, like in Clemson's case, a kid that was already in class, to just one night just drive to another college town and be like, I'm out. Like, that's not a good feeling, but nobody is enforcing this stuff. And so if nobody's enforcing it, it's like college coaches are like, well, of course we're going to take advantage of the rules. I mean, there's nobody enforcing this stuff. I mean, I'm going to give my team an upper hand. And I just keep saying with Ole Miss, LSU, there's a different layer. I'm not excusing. I'm not saying like it's still right that Ole Miss tampered with Clemson. I'm just saying the Ole Miss LSU thing is a little more nuanced. There's a little more of a layer to it. with Kiffin's exit, how that went down, and the reports of some of the things that went on. So there's a little more animosity because of that. But the issue itself, which is tampering and taking a kid that's already, committed to another school or whatever, I think most people that love college athletics don't want that. Like, why would you? It's really not good for the sport. And while Ole Miss benefits here and LSU benefited from, Prince Will, Iman Mielen, and getting Devin Harper, I think overall you don't want that. That's not something you want. And now joining us finally,
Hi.
the man himself.
Sorry.
Ben
Sorry,
Garrett.
I was late. Forgive my tardiness. But also, how are you preparing for Ice Mageddon 2026?
I was just talking about it. I was reading some comments before you showed up. And so was talking about tampering, but talking about the ice stuff, man. Here's the thing, Ben. I feel like every year we get something like this, right? Like, it's not quite what we're getting this year.
No, man. This is bad. This could be bad.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, the people try to freak us out every year. I remember last year, Atlanta got a bunch of snow and ice. It was actually a week before this week, somewhere around the 11th. And it was bad. Like, the roads were bad. It was, it was bad. But it wasn't as bad as they said it was going to be. And so I think, like, everybody's at this point right now kind of going, okay, is this a lot of, like, hype, like a lot of weather people drumming it up? Or is this really going to be like what Texas had back in, like, 2022 or 2021? With, like, Ted Cruz went to Mexico and during the storm type. Remember that? Like, Ben, you're not forgiving Sudu. Ban him now. You know what, Ben? Get out of here. Get him out of here. No, I'm kidding.
That's what I deserve. That's what I deserve for my tardiness. As I explained, hello, everyone. This QR code above my head, of course.
Ike Turner. Hey, yes, sir. Yes. Oh, wait. You said not beating. Oh, no. This is tragic. I thought he said Sudu beating the smoking allegations.
This is what you get for trying to talk that noise. Okay. I'm trying to prepare the Garrett home for Ice Mageddon 2026. The QR code right here.
And Dominic and Sudu might be my new favorite name. That's hilarious.
That's insane. That's diabolical. All right. So this QR code is for the Ole Miss Spirit, omspirit.com, affiliate of On3. Sign up today.
I've already done your spiel. I've already done your bidding for the Spirit. I already told them it's 50% off still.
You aren't running my banners like C Spire is our newest partner, one of our newest sponsors.
Oh, let's go. We got faster, on board.
Smarter, and easier with C Spire. Advanced technology solutions for homes and businesses. More at cspire.com. C Spire. Customer inspired. I'm just saying, we got some things we got to get to. All right, Sudu and Ben, we think Caden Lee is gone either way at this point. Yeah.
I mean, his buddies at Mizzou and tweeting smiley faces. I mean, I think it's he's taking, and he happens to be taking a visit there. It's like, I think we know what's going on here.
I think he's gone. He was telling teammates and coaches that if he got his waiver, or if Trinidad got his injunction / waiver, that he would be back as Ole Miss's back at Ole Miss for his final years as a wide receiver. But I think that's more of Caden's a nice kid, and he doesn't want to be hated. He doesn't want to be told no, or he doesn't want to tell anybody no. And if you ask me, based off the evidence, I think the evidence screams one thing. I know what everyone in the room was told, and you go by that in a lot of ways. But I'm not thinking. Yeah, I don't think he's.
Yeah, I think when he released this statement, it was like this decision was forced, or I had no choice, or something along those lines. My first thought went to, well, the kids from Kennesaw. We had talked about the Georgia's pre-portaling stuff. And I went, the only thing that I could think of that would be like, sorry, this decision was forced was, a family reason. Like, remember back in the day, you could get those medical things for family reasons.
Sure.
And that's where my head went to initially. But then the Missouri stuff started coming out, and I was like, oh, okay, he just wants to go play with somebody he trusts. I mean, to his credit, someone made a comment about this. I can't remember if it was on our podcast or was maybe on a podcast you were doing earlier this week. Could have even been the message boards. I consume so much information sometimes I forget. But
I'm so plugged in.
I'm so into it. I'm so plugged in. I'm chronically online. No, and they brought
I was like, that's not a good brag at all.
I'm not bragging. That's not even a brag. That's just a fact. And the point was, like, there were a lot of times this season that Caden Lee was wide open, and Trinidad went other places. I mean, you and I against LSU, I believe, were sitting up there going, "Oh my God, Caden Lee's wide open down the seam," and Trinidad went somewhere else. Right? He had a lot of weapons, and they didn't obviously probably have the same kind of chemistry that he would have with Austin, who was there much longer. So Caden will always be a rebel in my eyes. He has, and that's the thing. I think it also lessens the blow a little bit that he's going to Missouri. Like, I know Ole Miss has to play Missouri, and that like he could totally toast Ole Miss for over 100 yards or something next year. But like, could you imagine if Caden Lee had gone to Georgia? Like, I feel like it's a little different. Is that, you see what I'm saying? There's no disrespect to Missouri itself. Like, good for Mizzou.
He's a good dude.
Great guy.
I hope he has. If he goes to Mizzou again, Ole Miss. What is this? I need this. Those kids.
Shout out Eric Jernigan. He tweeted at us this morning.
That's the power line, man. That's the power line hoodie. I absolutely $82 is pretty steep, but look, with Afterpay, you could pay in 4 interest-free payments for $20.50. Well, now that you put it that way,
if you have to finance a hoodie, bro, maybe you don't need the hoodie. You know what I mean?
Keyword for Sudu being chronic.
Yep. Oh my God, here we go.
Yeah, wait, where's another one? Because it was really good, and it made me think of Nate Dogg immediately. Where is it? Oh, smoke trees every day. Now we know that our man Nate Dogg did not say trees, but
no, he did not.
Smoke trees every day, man. If here's a just a little piece of advice moving forward, if you're new to I don't know 2000s and around that time hip hop, maybe you didn't know about Project Pat till you started listening to Talk of Champions and Game Run Deep with your guys Ben and Sudu. If Nate Dogg is featured, it's probably a banger.
Of course.
I'm just like, if Nate Dogg is featured, it's not. There's a 99.9% chance it's an absolute banger.
Hold up. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. Hold up. Wait.
Such an iconic voice.
For you players that be thinking we soft, we don't play. Trinidad update. Rebel Bow. His
today?
Appeal got, it was supposed to be heard on Wednesday, and then it got pushed till Friday. And I'll be honest, like, I don't expect the appeal to be successful. Do you? I think, like, for Ole Miss, their confidence and the reason why they've been operating as if Trinidad Chambliss will be their quarterback in the year of our Lord 2026 is because they feel confident they're going to get that injunction. If you get the injunction, it's ball game, it's over. He's going to be your quarterback in 2026. It doesn't matter what the NCAA says. Now they can fight it, but it's going to take a long time, and they'll kind of probably just do what they did with Diego Pavia and throw up their hand and say, hey, okay, whatever, and just grant it. But supposedly pushed to Friday, you should be hearing something, but I'm not counting my chickens there. And even if you did get a ruling today, I mean, the NCAA's position was made very clear. So I don't know the appeals process, like who you appealing to, you know what I mean? It's not like you're appealing to a impartial judge and jury, right? So I don't know. I think a lot like releasing when Trinidad that right after Ole Miss loses the Fiesta Bowl, releasing that morning, breaking the news that he'd been denied. I think it's another Friday news dump if it ends up happening. But
this is what Matt's talking about. I think Clemson's supposed to have a press conference today with Dabo Swinney. And everybody seems to think that this is in relation to Luke Farrelly and all the it's coming down on Ole Miss. You guys better be ready type of vibes. And so I was talking about before you got on, I was like, hey, I think we all agree as college athletics, like a college sports fans or college football fans, like none of us want tampering in the sport. None of us want to sign a player and then be scared that he may be enrolled in classes and like that he's not going to be there. This ain't something we want. And, people have been asking me, like, how is this any different from what Lane's doing? You guys are all mad about Lane. I was like, no, it's not. The tampering aspect of itself is not. Like, and nobody wants that. But I was explaining, like, there's more layers between the Ole Miss LSU factor than some of the other stuff. Like, tampering itself, you and I talked about it the other day. Like, we don't think it's a moral thing that's good for the sport. Just morality based, like it's just not good. It's not a good thing to have. No. And there should be someone enforcing it. But until there isn't, and everybody, it's like the college basketball thing, right? About Bama getting the G Leaguer. It's like, well, until they fix that, or until they say no, then why wouldn't you take it? It's an advantage for you to win, and it's clearly not being enforced. Nobody is enforcing it. So
the thing. No one's disagreeing either. Like whether Dabo comes out with some press conference fire and brimstone, it's Kane. Sorry, that's a WWE reference. Even if he does, so what? So what? Who is, and that's because Ole Miss is making the same point. Because now you got LSU saying, well, we're not, no, LSU just won't pay the buyout for Prince Willie Monmielen, to which I say, which is due July 1.
See in court, I guess.
To which, and that's why I've been saying, like, who enforces this? Who's to tell LSU to go? No, you got to pay it. Okay, no, that's how Lane Kiffin's operating. That's how he always operates.
Yeah,
it's like, it's quote forcing change, when really it's just playing by the rules that aren't there. Right. And so like no one disagrees. If he steps up there and says and has this or whatever, I don't really care. We're worried about Ice Mageddon over here right now at this point. Like you can get up in arms about Luke Farrelly, he's an Ole Miss rebel. That like you're asking and raising the same questions that Ole Miss is raising about Prince Willie Monmielen, about Devin Harper. They re-signed both of those players earlier this month. Devin Harper was on January 5th. Owed, according to a contract that is legally binding in every other walk of life, $407,000 in buyout. You owe $590,000 in buyout for Prince Willie Monmielen. The problem is the NCAA is your enforcement arm that's supposed to be the guardians of the game. Remember all that? The guardians of the game ain't guarding shit.
What a joke. Guardians of the game.
Get mad and throw a fit all you want. Like Ole Miss fans go, yeah, this does suck. But also, we re-signed our starting right tackle and our leading sack, our sack leader from last year. Thought we'd re-sign them, and now they're both LSU Tigers today. We all agree. We agree more than we don't. It sucks when it happens to you, no doubt about it. The response to that is Farrelly didn't sign a rev share agreement with you. Prince Will did. You know what I mean? Like, lawyer up, guys. Okay. Like Ole Miss is saying the same thing to like Princeville about to LSU and Princeville about buyout money, and you know what their response is? Okay. Because there are no rules in a world where rules don't exist. Like there isn't any deterrent for this kind of stuff. That's the point. Everybody agrees the system is shit.
Yeah.
Crap. We're not, just because Ice Mageddon's coming, I've been doing better not saying like cuss words all the time. God is good. I'm not doing it today. But you get what I'm saying? It's like everybody feels the same way about it. They're pointing their fingers and blaming the wrong people. You're going, oh, well, Pete Golding, lawyer up, buddy. Luke Farrelly, lawyer up, buddy. No, what y'all should be doing is going, dude, this system sucks. Where are the adults? And then the adults will go, I don't know, it's their fault. I don't know, it's their fault. I don't know. And that's why you're stuck with the stupid system you got anyway.
Yeah.
So
it's been on the NCAA. It's they decided that they wanted to take their ball home whenever players finally got paid, when that decision was forced. And instead of creating a system that works, they decided we're going to sabotage this whole deal to show you, all you coaches that agreed and you administrators, yeah, we'll show you.
Good luck.
And that's what happened. So until somebody steps up and, takes charge, whether, people want Nick Saban to be that guy or, I know Josh Pate had a really good postseason thing this week, and people want him to be the commissioner of the sport and all that stuff. And it's like, I'm here for anybody that understands the sport and its needs and cares about it. I'm for that.
That'll just treat it the way it should be treated. Really give it the relationship and the love and the care. Is that what you're saying? You act like Ole Miss and all these college football programs don't have agency. Like they could step up and change the rules themselves. They could say, "Hey, let's govern ourselves as the SEC." They don't want that. They want this system to be as insane as it is. So for me, I agreed when it happened. I don't disagree. Like what happened to Clemson's crappy, just like what happened to Ole Miss is crappy. Mm-hmm. The difference is the enforceability of whatever you think the guardrails are. All right, so you say, well, y'all should be on probation. All right. He didn't sign a rev share agreement. Like, where is that going to hold up? He didn't sign a rev share agreement.
And even if he had signed that's the bare minimum.
And this is
that's just like we're sort of covering our ass, and it may not matter. Clemson didn't even do that.
This speaks to the insanity of the system. We agree. We being all of us who are, it doesn't matter if you're an Ole Miss media or fan in the chat, LSU media, fan in the chat, Clemson media, fan in the chat. We all agree the system is bad and needs reform. I loved what Josh Pate pitched, but that's more for the postseason and the calendar. And we've talked about the brokenness of the calendar. What I'm speaking more specifically about here is absolutely no protection for the member institutions of conferences that are part of a bigger entity in the NCAA that was quite literally created and designed to protect them. Mm-hmm. But created this whole system themselves saying, you don't like the way we do it? Fine. And it's been like that for 5 years. So good luck with the enforceability. Good luck. I just don't. I don't see that. How dare you say Miami play getting a 9th season of eligibility the day after an NBA player, my guy CJ, plays a game for Alabama is a bad system. Exactly right. That's I'm not saying Trinidad Chambliss's case isn't in the old days for an old system that isn't flimsy. But also, he's got the proper documentation. He's got his coaches' support, medical staff. Like, he's got a medical excuse. Like, he's got somebody in writing. Your caseworker said it's sufficient. By the rules of the land, you have no case. Why y'all denied him is off of a bunch of nonsense here, looks like to me. And you're granting eligibility for insane cases. This system is awful.
Yeah.
It's awful. Everyone agrees with that. Like, it was such a relief to hear that the NCAA said, you know what? Portal doesn't open for basketball until after the championship game. What a novel concept. It's like, it took 5 years and like completely squeezing all the toothpaste out of the tube to finally realize that you need something. Ben, it's time to retire the Bears hat, fam. So I'm not a Bears fan. So I'm a Cowboys fan. I just like the hat, and I've been busy this morning preparing for Ishmageddon 2026. Exactly, Mary. TJ Finley is on his 7th college. It's the
TJ Finley. Look at Jaden Rashada this week.
To Mississippi State.
Mississippi State. The kid's career started with a $9 million offer from Miami.
It did.
And then he left to go to Florida, who was supposed to give him 13. Mm-hmm. They never did. And I think he's tried to sue Florida. I don't even know what happened to that. Then he goes to Arizona State first, and then he went to Georgia. Then from Georgia, he went to UNLV. I don't know, somewhere. Nevada? Somewhere, right? Somewhere out west. San Francisco Community something? I don't know.
Sacramento State.
Sacramento State, yeah. And then now Mississippi State. Like, what?
Yeah. It's an interesting – he's a good encapsulation of this era. You can't discipline the player, but you can the teams. So we're talking about selective enforcement. Like,
yeah,
you're telling one like, you haven't. That's the point, though. You haven't enforced anything of consequence. The days of put them on probation, like we're sitting here in New Albany, Mississippi, Oxford, Mississippi, worried about the ice storm of '94. Like, most of y'all probably don't even know what I'm talking about, but bro, I was like 9.
Is that the one where everybody had babies in North Mississippi? Like,
no, the ice storm of '94. It's just we were without power for 17 days. 17 straight days.
Yeah, that's like a whole thing. When I was growing up in Oxford, people would be like, "Yeah, all you 95 babies or whatever came from that ice storm where everybody was cooped up." Like, all my friends were products of their parents.
Well, I wasn't, because my parents were, and all my family came to our little house on Moss Hill Drive, and like my cousins had chicken pox. No, bro, we were just my dad wasn't the most. He's never been the handiest man. Shocker, because your boy's not handy either. Like, I passed down, but like cooking bacon on the charcoal grill and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, as I've explained to my wife and kids, who still think we don't have everything we need. We have shelter, we have means of warmth, we have food, and we have water.
What are you doing about the heat? What are you doing, like propane tank heaters?
No, I have a gas fireplace in my den. Like, we'll gather around the fireplace, and it might be multiple days. Like, that's it. Like, the power, if an inch of ice hits, then yes, we're gonna be without power probably for a couple of days.
Yeah,
but it's as if we've forgotten as a society how to basically take care of ourselves. If the only requirement is don't die, you can strip it down pretty easily. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that they just can't stand the idea of discomfort shows me how spoiled we are. You know? But
Well,
just like it, I don't think we're gonna have an ice storm of 94.
Yeah.
Even though everyone, including my wife, my perfect wife, Emily, who I love her so much, but dang, dude, like she is so worried and filled with anxiety, to which I say, hey, give it to God. But second of all, we have what we need. Because unlike in 94, we are more prepared for it, but based off of past experience. There's nothing of precedent. Like precedent's just new precedents being changed, set over and over and over in college football. Like the days of put them on probation, give them the death penalty. Those days are done. The stuff that used to get you the death penalty is like, that's a Tuesday. Laramie sleeping on a couch. Austin Golson using some hunting land. You see what I'm saying?
That was such a joke. Also, Austin Golson cooperated and snitched. So
yeah, Tony asked, Ben, did you buy all the milk? I found a gallon. Here's what I don't get. I said this yesterday. Mike Clement, our Ole Miss hitting coach, go watch that one. He had no advice for this either because it doesn't make any sense. But like, why is there a run on milk and bread the minute all this happens? So, but my wife, and again, I want to keep my wife and kids happy and make sure that they feel secure. I'm their provider. You know, I'm the dad. I went and found a gallon of milk. Got up there early to Reed's in New Albany, very early. A lot of people wanted to talk. Saw my man Antonio Collins. Saw my guy, and saw Erica and Elizabeth Johnson. Like so many friends, right?
That is great. So cool, man. And I'm interrupting you because Rebel and Dave said don't be interrupting today. And he was saying some slick stuff on you and Zach's when you had Bradley Sal on the other day. And I said I'm gonna act up. I'm gonna act up. So this is me interrupting him, Rebel and Dave. No, it must be so cool, dude, to be in like a smaller community like that, because like I can't imagine.
I had to take my field this morning. I hadn't been behind, all this stuff. Just been behind today, boy. Been behind today. But it's like we ain't going back to the old days, Sudu, is what I'm saying. So like you can throw a fit, but you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. That's just the way it is. It's like Clemson. It's not anybody's fault that Dabo was so slow to the jump on NIL.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. And now, like, welcome to the game. The game's the game. The game sucks, but the game's the game. And that's why, I don't know. Like, as far as Trinidad, I think he's going to get his waiver. And if and when he does, my question becomes, or not his waiver, his injunction. If and when he is,
he
does. Like, where does Ole Miss is already one of the biggest portal winners of all of them. LSU too. I think depending on your service, I mean, if you're Reed 247, they're 1 and 2, LSU being 1, Ole Miss being 2.
Okay, Ben, can you explain to me how I'm 247, whatever? This is an On3 establishment. How does this work? Because when I go to the On3 team transfer portal rankings, right, I'm looking at Indiana at 1, Texas Tech at 2, A&M at 3, and then Ole Miss is at 15. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So how does it? What is everybody else looking at? Because I keep hearing 1 and 2 and all this, and I'm like, I'm going to does this factor in who left and who's come in? Does it
it factors in everything, all factors, but then it becomes like, again, there's no uniformity to any of this. If you're looking purely based on what they brought in and no other factors, they have one of the very top classes just from transfer halls.
Okay.
On3 is doing something more, or is attempting something more, or a tool that is more calculable. It's still a work in progress, but like more fair to the whole circumstance, right? Everybody for the longest said, hey, factor in all these other things too. So On3 is trying that. Do I agree with it? And is it just work in progress? One, of course, I don't agree with it. And two, yes, it's still a work in progress. So let's just go by what the halls are. Just what the halls.
Yeah.
I'm not saying halls. I'm saying halls. HAULS. Okay. The halls of these teams. And in that respect, just by On3, only 2 schools have 10 or more transfers with a 90-plus consensus rating from On3. And again, you only start 22. That's LSU and Ole Miss. To show you the elite nature of who they brought in. Yes, one of the factors is for On3 who left, but I would argue who left for Ole Miss, certainly, and who they brought in from a 13-win team. And if Trinidad gets his injunction, if you're factoring everything, how in what world are they the 15th? So that's what I'm getting at. But yes, on three at least. My company, the Ole Miss Spirit, OleMissSpirit.com, affiliate on three. Sign up today for new members for $1. Only 2 schools have 10 or more transfers with a 90-plus consensus rating from on three: LSU and Ole Miss. If Trinidad gets his injunction, you're right back where you were this year as a title contender, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
LSU, you like Lane Kiffin and LSU, they understood the assignment and they paid handsomely for it. You had to be one of the top transfer schools. You are a winner. Ole Miss, you had to show you could not only do it without Lane Kiffin, but operationally it's still strong. And like, yes, Trinidad's a huge, massive piece, but he is the only piece left. Even though you lost some, like I would even factor in what they lost to LSU was like, oh yeah, every Ole Miss fan would have signed up for it. I would just simply say those are the two biggest winners so far, LSU and Ole Miss. Who are your biggest winners and losers of this?
Well, I mean, I look at kind of individual stuff. For me, Texas, I think we need to talk about what Texas has done. We have talked about it a little bit here, but I mean, they're just spending money, like crazy money for these guys. To be able to spend like quarterback money for a receiver is awesome. Like, good for them. I'm glad they're getting to do that. Just as like a admiration thing from afar. I'm like, cool, man. I'm glad y'all can just spend $3 million on a receiver. That's tight. Nice. I think Indiana getting Josh Hoover isn't being talked about enough. If you see each team on three has an average rating as well, the average rating for the incoming transfers. Where is that though?
It's a work.
I see it. Transfers in. Okay, I see.
Yeah, it's ins and outs, but like again, it's not an exact science, and I still think that. Well, if anything, it's a fluid and evolving science that on three, like the NCAA with every new case, is trying to create something that has never existed before. And it's got some kinks to work out because even if you factor in transfers out for Ole Miss and LSU for transfers out, it doesn't make sense for there to be such a disparity in rankings, in my opinion. I just think it doesn't make any sense.
Well, like I said, Indiana getting Josh Hoover, great. He's honestly, like, this is going to be controversial, but based on what he's done in his college career, has a higher ceiling than Fernando Mendoza because Hoover has had a better career than what Mendoza had up to the point till he got to Indiana. So I think like when I see Indiana ranked below like Notre Dame and stuff in polls, I go, okay, that's weird because they just got one of the best QBs in the portal. Texas Tech. Texas Tech is right back at it again, including getting Brendan Sorsby, who I think is going to be awesome and probably an upgrade from what they had. LSU, obviously, you got to give LSU a lot of credit. LSU, Lane's doing what he's always done. This is what Lane's always done. You know what's funny about Lane, though? I think Lane is actually working much harder, and he's trying to be like, this is just different. But it's like, no, bro, you're working harder. I don't remember you taking the private jet to go, find your quarterback who was on another visit in Oxford. Like he's definitely working harder. And I think he even made a comment like that at one of these events he was speaking at this week, some LSU event, and he was like, it's one of those places that's got me working even harder. And it's just like, I don't know, man. I think that's so lame. It's like, oh, I didn't want to work as hard my last job, but this job, just because of where I'm at, it's just really making me
this one. This is the one.
That's weird to me. I'm like, dude,
this one, but this one is different.
That's not how Nick Saban operated, right? Like Nick Saban was just what he did at LSU, did the same thing at Bama. Like it's a lot of these elite coaches, they have their philosophy, their systems, and it's consistency. But with him, I guess in Oxford, you can, fly out to other towns in the middle of game weeks and get involved in other things. And then when you go to LSU, I guess it's a little different. But all that being said, good for Lane. This is what he does. They've got a hell of a class over there. I think early on it was like, oh, they're only stacking up skill positions, and now they're getting in with on offensive linemen, defensive guys. They got some good DBs. So I'll give Lane credit there, and Lane might be listening since he watches our show. So Lane, credit to you for what you're putting together over there. Virginia Tech. I mean, James Franklin literally just raided his Penn State roster, and Penn State fans don't care right now because Matt Campbell's doing the same. But I think Virginia Tech's going to be really good with Franklin. Who else was I looking at the other day? Florida.
That's from Lane today.
Today?
Yeah. So the portal and the frilly look at the
your famous word.
Oh, look at the prediction. Cal to Clemson to Ho.
Oh.
So there's Lane.
I said you guys are best friends, and you know what? I know he didn't.
He sent me that too, buddy. Thanks for that.
You're welcome. Dude, I'm just calling it like I said. Y'all are buddies. You're texting back and forth. You're talking about your families.
Anyway, Rebel and Dave. Oh gosh. All right.
Where's he at? No. Pin Rebel. Let me know what I'm. Yeah, Rebel and Dave. You didn't even see me respond the other day, did you? You said, "Thank God Sudu's not in here." I saw the comment. Don't worry. I was in here. Nobody responded.
He's messing with you, man.
Well, of course he's messing with me. This
is
we've got a little.
It's a thing. Here. You made it a bit.
We've got a little bit going on here, man.
Wait, whoa. My guy CJ. Philip Rivers is interviewing for the Bills head coaching job today. Are
you serious? Hold on.
What?
Hold on.
What?
What? Shefty just tweeted something about Philip Rivers. It has to be this. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, I mean, look, somebody
nothing makes sense. Like there's no steps to take anymore.
Listen. Someone made a comparison to me the other day about Philip Rivers' career being somewhat reminiscent, or Josh Allen's career rather, being somewhat similar to Philip Rivers, where you're this elite quarterback with high expectations, just can't seem to get over the hump.
There's a difference. There's a difference there. Philip Rivers couldn't get over the Peyton Manning hump.
Well,
okay,
I mean he had to be with Brady, Manning, Roethlisberger. Yeah.
Like, and I'm not one of those that like. I defend Josh Allen just like I defend Dak Prescott. People say Dak sucks. He doesn't. Dak is an incredible quarterback, and quarterback play in the NFL in 2026 is different. I mean, like when you watch Dak and one of these other new up and coming quarterbacks and their process and checks at the line of scrimmage and really the give and take, the chess match that is football. Dak's still doing it. Most of these guys are 1-2 read guys. You know what I mean? It's all RPO. Like football's been dumbed down. Josh Allen is a great quarterback. And that's not, I'm not blaming him for falling short. And I think it's lazy to go, well, Josh Allen fell short. No, I mean,
and also let's be real. He caught that ball. Josh Allen completed that pass. Buddy's knee was down. Like that was.
But the bottom line
at the end with the refs.
The bottom line is like Sean McDermott built that thing. He's awesome. He's going to be great wherever he goes next. They had to make a change. To go the Philip Rivers route is fascinating. I'd rather go that route than recycle Brian Daboll. That's just me. Happy wife, happy life, Ben, but buy the milk, lower the strife. That's the thing. I did. I went early and got the milk. I come home. I got a gallon of it, 2% over at Reed's after seeing all this.
Are you still drinking milk, or is this for the kids?
No. Okay. Like, look at me.
Milk is such an afterthought to me, dude. I used to love milk when I was younger. Now, like if I need milk, like I reach for almond milk or something. It just doesn't agree with me anymore. I just can't.
My milk consumption comes when I put it in my Cocoa Pebbles. Look at me. The point is, I got the milk and everything else, because the Walmart order it keeps getting pushed back. It's finally canceled. What are we gonna do? So I go to the store and I get the stuff. I got the milk that she was so desperate to get. Got some keto bread because that's all they had. And also she's been trying to watch her figure. Fine. We got some keto bread. All good things, right? Come home. We had a half a gallon that's barely been drunk that doesn't run out to January 28th. Like, why did we need more milk? That's my issue.
Other thing too is
everything we need, folks. We got everything we need. All
with
of it.
Storms, Ben. With storms, right? There's a chance that the power goes out and your refrigeration is out. So why is milk always the first thing people reach for?
And also, like, you bought a bunch of meat, all right? Unless you're planning, because if the power goes out, your fridge is screwed. I'm going to take my stuff out and like go put it in the cooler and go put it in the ice. You know what I mean? Outside. What most people are going to do is go, well, what do we do? Because it's like we've forgotten how to do the basic thing that the first person on earth had to learn. Just don't die. And you would think because Gracie and Riley can't play Roblox that we're about to go back to the Stone Ages. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's insane. I don't have a generator, but generators are the way to go. I have a gas fireplace lit up with a pilot light. I have a gas stove. We have way more than we did in 94. And we got through 94 on 17 days without power. I think we'll be fine.
17 is crazy. 17 is nuts. I can't imagine that.
Thoughts on Neil I like Neil McCready a lot, and he asked an awesome question the other day at basketball. And after the Egg Bowl, when all that stuff kind of went down, we were in the press conference before Lane walked in, and I interrupted his bullcrap answer where he's trying to push a narrative. and he didn't expect that. Maybe that's why he keeps texting me, because he's like, "Oh, you didn't let me be an asshole." I don't know. But I remember I looked at Neil amidst the chaos and all these people want to talk to me, but Neil was the one sitting beside me, and I said, "Neil, I'm not handling this very well." Like he could tell I was getting angrier and angrier, and he gave me some tremendous advice in the moment, and he continued to help me stay not to be the typical idiot that I am. So I have nothing but love for Neil McCready. He's been a friend to me for a long time. And yeah, that's all I have to say about Neil. I think Neil's great.
Yeah, no bad blood here.
None, zero. But I do need to change the hat. But it's just a good hat.
I've never understood why you have that hat. By the way,
because I wanted to. I've tried to give up the Cowboys so many times. I've got a Steelers hat. I've tried other fans.
Bro, just come join us. Come to the Giants, bro. We got John Harbaugh. Where's my boy Matt? Matt's in here. Matt's a big guy. Hey, I just want to say, he's by God, it's Luke Ferrelli. Dude, I sent you a Jim Ross video. You never watched it. You never acknowledged it. And I'm going to play it here right now.
Oh, yeah, it's good. Now
I'm going to play it here right now.
Please do. Are you
now?
You up?
Yeah, I'm getting it up. Now, I will say Jim Ross was always a very expressive and, some of his tirades were profanity laced. So if you're
I got me a Starlink, but I thought you had to plug up the Starlink.
Jim Ross used to lose his mind.
He'll go to hell for what he did tonight. Damn you, Triple H. Damn your soul to hell.
Or on a fake fight. On something.
You evil son of a bitch.
On something completely
Helmsley, that son of a bitch with the steel pipe. Damn you, Helmsley. You'll burn in hell.
Okay, so you see this, right? Now,
okay.
So I saw this, and I went...
Terrible JR impression.
Well, yeah, but the sentiment rings true. So I see that. Sure. I sent it to you the other day because it's so true. Like he to me is the best. Like there's just no one better than him to me as far as commentators go. And I worked for Michael Cole, and I think he's awesome. But I just think Jim Ross was the best at it. So then I'm on TikTok. I'm on TikTok yesterday, and an actual example of that pops up. Which hold on, I'm gonna try to airdrop onto my laptop. And it's just as a like fan of wrestling when I was a kid. It just made me go like, damn, dude, like Jim Ross was the best, right? Like, do you agree? Like,
yes, I was like we had growing up in my backyard because we didn't have iPads and stuff that if we lost during an ice storm, oh gosh, how are we going to survive as human beings? So we had a fake wrestling league. Me and
who
all
are
my
you
friends.
going after on that?
My daughters. You don't need iPads. You don't need them. They like her buddy Witt always watches this, and he's in the chat sometimes. Guys, we don't know how good we got it. We don't appreciate how good we got it. God has blessed all of us. If we can go into our homes, shelter, have a means of warmth, gas, propane heater. I got a propane heater too. I can't bring it into the house, but we'll do it in the garage if we need to, blow it in a little bit. Like we going to be all right. We got each other is all I'm saying. So we didn't have to be constantly stimulated. I'm talking to you too, by the way, Sudu. You're the same way.
I'm good, dude. You know what I did?
Anyway,
you know what I did last winter storm we had in Atlanta, bro? I was snuggled up with a beautiful woman for a few days. We watched movies.
Oh,
we made things. They call them Smirnoff rockets. Look it up.
This is taking a turn.
We had a great time.
Sexy turn.
Okay, I wasn't reaching for my iPad. I wasn't reaching for my phone.
You were reaching for something else, weren't you, boy?
Hey, come on. Hey, come on, big dog. You know the vibes.
My man said, "Yeah, I'm reaching, but I ain't reached for." Anyway, so CJ, I saw that. This is a friend. All right, so
CJ, are you the one that followed me on Twitter yesterday? Are you the LSU guy Ben you said was friends with? Okay, I need to follow
that dude. CJ's that dude. All right. So anyway,
not for a while, buddy. That's we're making sure of that.
So in those days, we had to do things like go outside and play, right? Yeah. Even when you were like in high school, we had a fake wrestling league. It was called the Corny Fake Wrestling Federation, CFWF.
Bro, you were really about that life. That's crazy,
dude. You have no idea. I had a full on build. Anyway, my brother Daniel D Magic, he would do the crazy stuff like jumping off the roof of the house onto the trampoline on the basketball court. Meanwhile, I was JR, but I called myself RJ. So I would just sit up there and go, "Oh my God, it broke him in half." No, don't you? No, get ready. Oh my gosh, we've seen a dead body. So, yes, do I think JR is the GOAT? Absolutely. All right.
Yeah.
So back to the portal winners and losers. The loser is Duke. Duke is the loser for this. It is not their fault. They thought they had signed and secured their quarterback, but like Darian Mensah losing their number one wide receiver, who was Mensah's top target, and they're taking them to court. Like, there's a reason they're going and getting a low-level quarterback just to say, we got to have a starter. And it speaks more, again, to the crappiness of the system. I don't want to call Duke a loser. I want to call them, got by the game. You know what I mean? And it sucks. The game sucks until they kick off. Then it's the best the sport's ever been, because of the parity. And Indiana is the national champion. But Duke is my number one there. You got one?
As your biggest portal loser.
Well, I'm not giving them biggest portal. I'm just saying there's winners and losers right now, I think.
Yeah.
Ole Miss and LSU were winners here. They've come out as winners. Texas is a winner without a doubt.
Yeah. I would have said Georgia Tech, but they've kind of rebounded. They obviously got Mendoza's brother, Alberto. Then they got Justice Haynes. At Georgia Tech. I mean, good for them. So originally I was going to say them. For weeks I've been thinking like, man, they got raided. Like Buster took everybody, But now, I mean, I'm not sure. Colorado. I just think Colorado's been taking L's left and right.
Iowa State, Matt Campbell took everybody.
Iowa State for sure.
Matt Smith brought that one up. So did CJ.
That's a good one. Who was I thinking of earlier?
I liked your Texas Bowl. I didn't get to really add to it, but it's not just Cam Coleman. I mean, they're stacking up for next year.
They got a little squad over there, man. They really do.
They saw it because Arch came on. Arch started to look like what they thought he was going to be. So in that way, you're like, dude, put Cam Coleman with Hollywood Smothers
and Raleek Brown. That's my thing. You got RB1 and RB2, like elite options. And
I like that. I like how Ole Miss did that, specifically getting like running backs, like multiple running backs. Like that Southern Utah running back. He rushed for 1,800 yards, lower level, but like 1,800, 28 touchdowns, conference offensive
workhorse.
MVP.
You need another workhorse. Like you can't have Kewan sitting there getting hurt in the biggest game of the season. Like you need somebody to give him reprieve. Kewan's going to get his. He's going to have his stats and his touchdowns and have a chance to be in the Heisman conversation, but you can't use him. I think I saw the stat, Ben. It was insane. The second, I guess it was Logan Diggs. If you look at Logan Diggs' stats compared to Kewan's this year, it looks like NCAA Dynasty or Road to Glory mode or something. That's where, your guy gets all the carries and the other guy, like you have like 300 carries for 1,500 yards or something. And the next guy's got like 4 carries. It's like, it looked that bad.
It's true. Insane. Well, this is where I was kind of going with it when I put it up as the main topic for today. Like I'm with go to hell LSU. Alabama seems a little weak in the portal. Bama hadn't really blown me over.
Bama got screwed. I mean, on the Smothers thing, obviously.
Like Renaud is now at Ole Miss.
Renaud is gone.
Texas Tech's a winner.
Tech's definitely winner.
I love the Indiana. I love you giving the Josh Hoover. Like I completely forgot about that. And like that is going into this year. Who was our guy? Josh Hoover.
We talked about Hoover week 1.
I love it. Like you're talking about next year's draft class for quarterbacks is loaded. This one isn't. But like Josh Hoover, if you want a chance in hell, you just gave yourself one.
Yeah,
because Josh Hoover's in a better place developmentally, arguably, but in my opinion, developmentally, or a little further ahead developmentally, I should say, than Fernando Mendoza was going
100%.
And like Kurt Cignetti's the best coach in football.
Yeah,
he is. He's the best coach in football. So like,
it's not just. It's not. Yeah, it's for Indiana. Like it's not just going to be that because you have like Charlie Becker's coming back. They got who's the receiver they brought in? Was it Michigan State's top receiver? I think they brought in to replace essentially what Elijah Surratt was this year, the production machine. Nick Marsh is his name. Nick Marsh is awesome. And so they're gonna be right back at it, dude. Shaz Preston, the receiver from Tulane. I don't know if you guys remember Shaz Preston. Obviously haven't played Tulane a few times. I think he's gonna shine.
Preston. Yeah, I like Shaz Preston.
So there's guys over there. AJ Harris, former Georgia corner who played at Penn State, now going to Indiana. So like it's not like they're going anywhere. People are like, oh, this is a one-time thing. I'm like, no, they legitimately restocked. They have talent there. And the scarier part is maybe some of the lower rated talent that people aren't even thinking of. What can Cignetti get out of them as he's been doing? Like what's going to, it's like who's the next guy that's going to step up that was a nobody? And it's realistic to expect he will produce results again because he's done it now for 2 straight seasons at Indiana and before that at other schools. And then on Texas Tech, we talk about Jacob Rodriguez and all the linebackers they had. Dude, they went out and got Austin Romaine at linebacker. So obviously Brendan Sorsby at quarterback was the big deal, right? Like, okay, we got someone, we got our QB1 for next year. But then on defense as well, Texas Tech went out and got Austin Romaine from Kansas State, who's going to be just another like plug and play guy for them there. Mm-hmm. So those 2 teams, I think, killed it.
My main the winners for me, if I had to give.
Oh, and Kentucky. Sorry, Kentucky's a winner.
Kentucky's a winner. And see, in the on 3 rankings, Kentucky's like in the 30s or 40s. And like Mississippi State's in the teens. So I don't.
Yeah.
The math ain't mathin'.
I see what you're saying.
I kind of like some of the stuff State's done. They've taken some hits too. But I really do like a lot of stuff that State's done. Alabama and Florida State are the 2 teams that to me needed to have good portal runs, and right now they are lacking. They're lacking.
Yeah. Do you want to rank who we think is going to be like the best portal additions player wise?
Yes.
You cool?
Let's do a top 5.
Okay.
So I got a hard out at 11 o'clock, and you know this because I've got to go. Perfect. Because Riley didn't have Uncrustables today, and she doesn't eat anything else, Daddy. So I'm having to take us some lunch. At 11:30, Daddy, will you bring me some food? Of course, honey. Do you remember the wrestling rings in the lottery? Yes, dude. I got a story. Wrestling runs deep in this dojo. You feel me? Like wrestling runs deep in this here Garrett dojo. Yes, I do.
Trust you, dude. I mean, you're clearly, you were the guy. Like, I used to watch these kids on YouTube when I was a kid that would do like their fake wrestling matches around the house and whatever.
Yeah. Weird like that.
I didn't realize that was you, man.
Yeah, it was fun. Well, I want some Ole Miss fans in the chat. Thanks to all of you in the chat. One, there's a Miami offensive tackle visiting this weekend with the impending inclement weather. What does that mean? As of right now, that visit's still on, and I think Ole Miss, like that's the place I'm really watching for Ole Miss to add as far as imminently. I think they're working. There's 2. I've heard 2 specific offensive tackles, but I haven't verified it enough to really put it out there. Yeah, Damon Wilson. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry you lost that one, buddy. I knew, but like I tried to tell you. I tried to tell you.
It wasn't like Ole Miss was even going after the kid, They
did talk to him, but like
they talked to him.
You're just.
They talked to him. Hey, speaking of wrestling runs deep,
I think they get. Oh, Ben's a good dad. Thank you. I think that they're going to get an offensive lineman or 2 within the next handful of days, and nothing has changed as far as the visit. It's not. I'd be surprised if they kept him in here very long because they could get stranded here for days. Maybe that is the right move to take. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe, like if Prince Will had just been stranded with an ice storm, maybe he doesn't end up as an LSU Tiger. Like I don't know.
This is like the Joe?
Yeah. This is Chris Jones. Chris Jones. It was like at Mississippi State when Ole Miss was going to get him before signing day, and then Mississippi State people surrounded him and hit him. Like what it is.
Well, who was the running back? I think he lost his life a few years ago in a traffic stop. Ed Orgeron went to go get, and he ended up going to USC and said, Joe McKnight?
Joe McKnight, God rest his soul.
Yeah. Wasn't it like some kind of storm or power outage?
Yes. Here's a great pull, by the way.
Yeah.
Look, talk about deep ball knowledge, especially for Ole Miss, you homer.
Game runs deep, brother.
Here it is. God rest his soul, Joe McKnight. Who is the coach, the Ole Miss assistant that slapped his name on the whiteboard and said, "I'm going to deliver Joe McKnight"?
An assistant coach.
He's now back with your Ole Miss Rebels, Mr. Frank Wilson, folks.
Oh, that was Frank Wilson. Oh yeah, of course that makes so much sense.
Time is a flat circle.
Time
is a flat circle.
That is wild. Okay, before you have to go, this hard out that you've got.
Mr. Graves coming on a visit. All right, sorry.
So my top 5 is probably going to be, I'll go Sorsby 1 because of Texas Tech and what they've got over there. Cam Coleman 2,
Cam Coleman was my number one. I just really, really wanted to see Cam Coleman get balls thrown to him by Trinidad Chambliss, Deuce Knight.
That would have been awesome.
But also, then I heard the number and how Ole Miss was allocating this money for it to address its needs specifically, and I was like, oh, okay, well, no, that's not it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go Damon Wilson 3. He's just a game wrecker. At that,
and he's replacing Ruben Bain. It makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Could Miami be better next year? Did they improve it? Ruben Bain was an offense record,
and Mesidor, both of those guys.
Yeah, but you go a long way in addressing that. I think Damon Wilson's a good pull, not just because you're obsessed with him, because you want him to be an Ole Miss Rebel. But.
Oh, I think the guy's awesome. And then one that I don't like, I think we've kind of forgotten because it was so early in the portal and it was already like pre-portal before season ended. Drew Mestemaker. I think Oklahoma State's getting an absolute monster at quarterback.
Monster? You think Mestemaker's a monster following his former head coach Eric Morris from North Texas to Oklahoma State? If you're Eric Morris, do you think you wish you'd have waited a little bit longer? You could have gotten a little bigger than Oklahoma State.
Probably. But, he doesn't seem like he's chasing the biggest job. That's just the vibe I get. And I could be wrong, but that's just the vibe I get. So
do you think the Giants should trade Thibodeau and get Bain at 5? Oh, I love that, actually. Dude, I love that.
I've seen some stuff about us moving Kayvon, and I'm cool with it. I'm cool with it.
Joe Carter really didn't wreck much his first year.
He's good. He had his moments. I don't know what his exact stats were this year, but obviously you got Spider Burns back there.
Obviously,
you got some dogs there. So yeah, adding Bain, a younger guy there, I'd be cool with that.
I got a Texas fan in the chat. Texas is one of the biggest winners of this portal.
Doubt. Oh, and then I think so. I did 4, and shoot, so many guys, man, so many monsters in the portal. I want to go Hoover too, but I also want to give Chaz Coleman some love. Who's going to Tennessee.
Tennessee might be a loser.
Yeah, they didn't really do that much, right? They didn't get Sam Levitt. Yeah.
You sound like Bill Lumberg. Yeah.
That's all I got. That's my top 5, I guess. Sorsby, right. Coleman, Damon Wilson, Drew Mestemaker, and Chaz Coleman.
Biggest bust.
Okay, biggest bust in the portal.
Ooh. I got that. That leads me to my next one, because I think my guy Jay Walden here just answered his own question.
Biggest bust. I'm going through this list right now.
Sam Levitt at LSU.
Sam Levitt. Jury's still out on Levitt. I'm interested.
The man threw for 80 yards against State.
I get that. I understand. But jury's out. Let me see. Let me see what he looks like first.
I think Levitt's. I'm with the chat. I think Levitt's the easiest pick. But
I'm not bought into Levitt, but I'm also not here to say like he's a total bust just quite yet.
I'm not either. I'm not saying that. What I am saying though is that like for what he was paid and the effort put forward to bring him in and the expectations, like that, it's inevitable. Like the bust potential is far greater than meeting those ridiculous expectations. I'm not saying it's arch mania going into last year, but this kid's been – there's a reason why Lane didn't just stop at Sam Levitt.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I think that's the obvious choice for that. Auburn, to me, doesn't – I wouldn't put them as a loser of this portal, even though a few in the chat – there's one. Ole Miss fan. Auburn has to be – I don't think that's true. I think that Alex Golesh has actually done a pretty bang-up job, and I hope that they were successful, because I'd heard going into it that they were going to – treated a little differently, the portal and these contracts, because the schools, as we've been talking about all hour here, don't have really any agency to protect themselves. So Auburn has tried to do more incentive-laden contracts and multi-year agreements. So potentially, Auburn could be changing the system for the better for everyone if it allows the schools to get a little bit more protection and all that kind. You get what I'm saying? So I wouldn't call it, because Byron Brown's your dude. He's followed Alex Golesh there. Yeah, I mean, he's probably going to be a top 7-ish quarterback, for the SEC next year. So I don't think that but losing Cam Coleman is brutal. I mean, that's absolutely brutal.
OVO Bell makes a great point, by the way. Lane's system will make him look better. Lane does make quarterbacks look better. And here's the thing. They don't always translate to the league with Lane. If you look at his track record, I mean, Jackson Dart's probably the best example. How did he coach Hurts? trying to remember if he was there for Jalen Hurts. Maybe
He's
a
saying
year.
this guy, Jeff Jones. No, I'm not hating on LSU and Lane. I've both said they are one of the biggest winners of the portal, and Sam Levitt under Lane is what gives me more confidence about him as the but he was signed to be the savior of that, like where Garrett Nussmeier stepped down. Well, under Lane, this is the former guy. The expectations lead you to be I don't know how you meet them. How could you be anything other than a bust? Same thing with Arch Manning. Like there was no meeting those expectations going into last year.
Yeah.
None.
Yeah. We'll see. It's going to be interesting. Like I said, he's a bit of a QB whisperer. He's been able to get production out of guys. Someone did make it. I think Ovio Bell actually said it. Every Lane quarterback has struggled their first year in the system, except for Trinidad. Yeah, that's true. Corral did. Dart did. You're not wrong about that.
Didn't Matt throw for like 20 interceptions?
Oh, dude, he had an awful
There's a
year.
lot.
Yeah. He had 2 games where he threw like more than 5 interceptions, I believe.
All right, we got to get out of here. Support Riverland Roofing, 662-644-4297, riverlandroofing.com. My friends at B&A Bank, 662-534-8171. College Corner for your Ole Miss merch. These are for all my Ole Miss people. But again, thanks to all of y'all who joined us in the chat. 662-550-4330, online at collegecornerstore.com. Seriously, College Corner, man, it's been with us forever, bro, and we're thankful for them. Allen Samuels Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Oxford, online at allensamuelsoxford.com. Call them 662-234-8000. Our friends at Allen Samuels have been with us for a long time and been supportive of us, and we're so thankful for them. And then make your life faster, smarter, and easier with our newest sponsor, C Spire, advanced technology solutions for homes and businesses. More at cspire.com. C Spire.
Real ones remember Sell South, by the way.
C Spire, yep. Customer inspired. God, yes, Jay Walden is good all the time.
Damn right.
There's a promotion going on right now with Underdog Fantasy. If you play your first $5 on Underdog, all you got to do is download the Underdog app and Underdog Fantasy, play $5. And if you use a promo code champions in checkout for Talking Champions, dude, they will hook you up with $75 worth of bonus entries. All you got to do is download the app, Underdog Fantasy, $5, play it, put in the promo code champions for Talking Champions, $75 in bonus entries. Wow. And I was a complete and utter novice to Underdog this year, and I, who used to love fantasy football, was obsessive over it. It's scratched that itch incredibly.
Can you participate in all states? Is this or is this just only in states with betting?
You have to be in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates, and that's. Right. But I wanted to mention that too because, dude, that was a great deal, and Underdog hooked it up, and I was like, heck, dude, I need to let people know. Use champions at checkout and Underdog. And you get some extra paper. Still no update on Chambliss. No, it's supposed to come today. At least that's what we think. Supposedly. We'll see. But our biggest winners in the portal to close this out, to put a nice bow on this thing, LSU, Ole Miss,
Texas,
Indiana,
Tech, Kentucky, Florida.
Biggest losers, Duke. Poor Duke. Florida State. For me, Alabama.
Bama. Tennessee, to a degree, not making as much of a splash as maybe you would have expected.
Tony's giving me so hard over here. He's like, your daughter's hungry. I know, but her lunch isn't until 11:30. She'll be fine. I was going to go get her Sonic. I might have to just go get her a Subway sandwich. All right.
I thought she wanted a PB&J, bro.
She did want Uncrustable, but then she was like, "Oh, you're going to come eat lunch with me, Daddy? Will you bring me 2 corn dogs, some mozzarella sticks, and a grape slushie?"
Why are your kids sound like they live in like the hills of
if you met
LA.
Riley Garrett, hey, Daddy, I don't have any Uncrustables for tomorrow. Can you bring me a grape slushie, 2 corn dogs, and some mozzarella sticks? I was like,
what is this accent she's developed in
Daddy, it's Laguna Beach. They bougie, bro. They bougie. All right, I got to go. I love you, buddy.
All right, love you guys. We'll see you next week. Peace out. Oh, man.